So I wanted to do a review on this saw, but I wanted to wait a little bit because you ever notice when someone does a review on a brand new thing and they just opened it out of the box? Like, what good is that? So I've been using this saw for a good 6 months now. Obviously, the reason I bought a saw stop was because you can't cut your finger off as easily if you're a NIMBY. So with the high turnover rate of help I've been having, I thought it was a good idea to invest in something where you can't hurt yourself as easily. I just want to go over a couple features of the saw, what I thought was good about it, and a couple things I don't like about it. The first thing I have to say is the best on this saw is how this blade comes off. So obviously, if you want to take this blade guard off, let's say you want to change your blade, someone obviously put a lot of thought into this. So look, your one crank, I'm gonna go like this for a second. Your one crank, right? That's it. I'm gonna go all the way up. You go. It's literally one crank. Um, you go to take this. No tools required. It has the leveling ports on it. You get this thing right on, dude. You get no dippity-do action. Betterly makes an insert for this, but there's nothing wrong with what they give you. It's toy, like a Toiger. The riving knife. Let me bring this back up. Probably a good idea. I shut this off though, right? So the riving knife comes off at one click. That's it. So if you got to scribe something, you got to cut something crooked like most of us do, I would recommend taking this off. It goes back on, no problem. Now the motor, if you look at it, is inverted, so it's righty-tighty to put the blade on, no left-hand thread. Comes with a single brake cartridge. Kind of idiot-proof instructions on how to take that on and off. So anyway, you want to put this right back on, you just slide it back in, and you click it, and that's it. No tools, man. Fucking awesome. You come back here. You got blade storage on the back. I stuck, because I cut a lot inside, I stuck I don't know, it was probably from Home Depot or one of those big box stores, but an adapter, to go from the big hose to the little hose. If you stick that in this port, your Festool hose will fit inside this. So really good feature, because now I just get the Festool hose, I stick it in there, and all dust collection you want. And it works pretty well. Now, your fence replicates a Betterly fence. Here's where I get a little upset. First off is, it's nice. It's dude, you take this thing right out of the box. It's right on accurate, and that's because I use triple chip blades. Even their blades, it's not those cheapy thin curved Diablo blades. This is respective to a real blade. That's a triple chip blade. Your power on this is a little underpowered, I must admit. Your top amperage, I mean, I don't think it's a 15 amp motor even, but I cut hardwoods all the time. It's fine as long as you kind of can feel the blade and the quality of the sharpness of the blade. Obviously, once these dull out, man, just you're working too hard, you're going to smoke the saw. It's not as powerful as a Hitachi or a Makita 2503. Let me put it that way, or a 2305, excuse me. So back to the fence. Fence is right on. Out of the box adjustment, thing was right on accurate. However, if you're going to cut something through this, and I know some guys, myself included, you're grabbing the fence, trying to push something through. This thing, that pops up real easy. And then this, you could see what will happen after that. So mind that. These were a little sharp. It is just a piece of laminate on a piece of Chinese plywood. So this was warped on here. I had to do some diligence to put that back so it was straight, but they can be replaced. So obviously the fence comes right off. It's like I said, it replicates a Betterly fence. Just has one square guide on there, and then it's got a roller on the back. Now, the second thing that I don't like about this saw, you want to extend it, right? Let's check this out. Okay, that's cool, right? But I was ripping a piece of, this is like, in fact, I had to put it on 23. So they put 23 on the red mark if you're extended. The black mark is when it's not extended. So let's say we had to cut this piece down to 23. Look where that lands. There's a big hole there. So when you got a piece of 3/4 material, it's not bad. But if you have something that's thin, like let's say you're ripping down 3/8 or something thin, this thing will flop down right here. And if you're by yourself, man, oh man, watch out. It's very dangerous. You almost have to. I would like to see, or I was thinking of making some type of insert just to go here to support this thing, because unless you put this here, and even that, it's lower. This pulls out all your accessories are in there. You got a blade guard. This stuff that people take off and throw in the garbage, like all that's in here. I did buy an extra brake because what good is it? It stops and it ruins your blade and your brake, and then you can't start to work again. So idiot-proof instructions are on here, so you don't have to keep the whole book on you all the time. And this is cool too. I will say that I'm not a big 100% fan on this fence, but this is easy. I play with it. It works. It's cool. But this, if you're ripping thin material, you're cutting down a sheet of Formica or something for whatever reason, you will flop in here and it'll get caught here or go under the fence, and you are up a creek, especially if the fence is like that and you lose your reed. So very bad. That's the thing I don't like about this saw. Everything else, if you are in the Capex tables and all that, lines up perfectly. It's at 30, was it 36 or just under, so it works fine. I use that flip top thing, works fine, seriously, for what I'm doing. Everything else I use a track saw anyway. The other thing, when this turns on, it does your continuity. There is a bypass, so if you're cutting deco metal or aluminum or something, you can bypass the kind of help me out here, the conductivity of the blade. So that's how this thing works. So see how it turns green? That means when it's done flashing, it's ready to go. If I touch the blade, right, see, I'm making continuity. It knows something's there that shouldn't be. That's how that works. So they say if you're cutting wet lumber, that type of thing, I'm not that kind of a carpenter, so I'm not too worried about that. Never had to bypass this thing yet, and I hope I never will. But so far so good. It's a Skookum table for this thing. The other thing they have, one last comment, is this, how you bevel. You just pull this and you bevel. It's okay. I guess I'm not used to it, but it seems a little flim flam. But I use it. It works. So whatever. And the other thing, going back to this slide, it has to be engaged completely out the other side to read with your markings, if that even matters to you. But I got to figure out something with that, because I just had to cut something that was real thin, and that messed me up big time. So that's the only complaint, other than a tad underpowered. But if that's the cost of not cutting your finger off, I'm all for it. Everything else, dude, I use a track saw. Now, I used to have one of them Rossiau tables, with the extensions and all that nonsense, and I put that away, and I've been using this, and to be honest, man, it's all you really need. It's a real good saw. It's true, doesn't wobble, arbor's very strong. The braking on it, if you turn this on, that's your brake. See how it flashes for slowdown? It'll still engage until that's done. So that's the other benefit. I know guys that rake their hands. They like to feel the blade as it's slowing down. It won't let you. It'll still stop, allegedly. I hope that was helpful. So I would rate this saw. If you do a lot of trim work, if you do a lot, I would invest in it. I think especially if you have people that you can't micromanage, and you just it's better peace of mind. Feel it out for yourself if it's worth it. If you're gonna do, a couple jobs here and there, probably not. But or a lot of people are rough on them. This isn't one of those type of saws. But other than that, I think it was thought out pretty well. I don't regret it, especially for the peace of mind. So I hope that was helpful. Leave your comments below.